Oh, hold up. Tweet from Halloween Horror Nights Orlando. Let's see what this is about. What is going on, YouTube? How are you guys doing today? Hopefully it's good. I know Halloween Horror Nights has made the final announcement. Well, maybe the final announcement. I mean, we haven't had the confirmation on the hot dog pizza or the drinks or the donuts or any of that stuff that's might be announced. I'm just joking with you. They finally have announced the final 4 houses of the event. They're all the originals. Let's dive into them a little bit. We have, first up, I'm starting with the smaller houses. We have Scarecrow the Reaping. This is a Great Dust Bowl. It's supposed to be in Nebraska. It's a farmhouse. Obviously, you've kind of seen some hints about this from Halloween Horror Nights Orlando if you follow them on Twitter. This is supposed to be about scarecrows and how they want to seek revenge. It's going to be a lot of like cornhouse type of maze with a lot of scarecrows. So they talked about in the USA Today article how they were doing a casting call seeking skinny guys who were over 6 feet tall to put on the straw-filled costumes. So we know they're going to be possibly not on stilts, but just very tall and skinny, so they kind of give that look of a scarecrow type character. The house, I think it's going to be one of the better ones. To me, it kind of gives that vibe like we're talking like Dollhouse of the Dam original, where it's very small and cozy, kind of like The Hollow and some of these other houses that they've had throughout the years that are kind of campy, but also they're really like great houses. I think this is going to be a very solid house. Up next, we're going to be talking about Hive, not The Hive. I don't know why it's not called The Hive, but simply Hive. This, by the article they wrote in the blog, it's like you had me. It says for huge horror fans of 1980 horror movies, we wanted to take the feel of those movies, take everything that makes them kind of sexy, beautiful, cool about vampires, and flush it down the toilet. That's not what I'm really liking, especially after you did Vamp 55, and that was sort of like a throwback of a 50s style kind of vampires, and it was comedy and it was kind of scary. I was hoping they would have went with the 1980s as like a hip kind of new wave vibe. Would have had some synthesizer music, maybe some Duran Duran, some shades, cool vampires, leather jackets type of deal. Didn't go for that. They're trying to make this scary, and from what I've heard is that most of the cast shaved their heads, so they're all going to be the type of vampires that you've seen on something like The Strain. If you've ever seen that show, great show about vampires, truly different about vampires than you normally would see, but most of the vampires on that show have shaved heads, so that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. I don't know if they're going to have any kind of cool prosthetics or anything, or they're just going to be spray painted or whatnot, so we're going to have to wait and see if that house is going to be cool. Not the first time we've seen shaved heads. We've seen them with Havoc twice now, so that's not really something that's shocking. I'm sort of iffy on the Hive. It could be a knockout, it could not be, so we'll take it as we get it. And up next we have The Fallen, which is the battle between good and evil. They haven't really talked about too much about this house, which kind of leaves it very mysterious. I don't know if this is going to be like Gothic, the sequel, if it's supposed to be Catacombs. Are we going to have the Nightingales? I don't know who's supposed to be in this house, what's supposed to be in this house. They just said the creatures are going to be flying. We know that for a fact. There's going to be stunts, there's going to be some bungees, some flying. They said high screech and deep roar creatures. That's all we know. And it takes place in like a cathedral or some type of establishment. From the pictures and what they've shown us with the video, I think this house is going to look very good. It might not be scary. It might just be like, oh, that was the cool house, like how Body Collectors was kind of cool looking and it had the snow effect, but it really wasn't that scary of a house. So that's how I'm kind of feeling this house is going to be. Up next, we have the biggest house that Halloween Horror Nights announced out of their originals, and you can tell it's the biggest because it's the main like video. It was the main like house they talked about so much in the USA Today articles. The main house they showed off so much. It's called Dead Waters. It is their first, well, maybe not their first, but it is their biggest voodoo main focused original house. It said we had the Bayou Blood Scare Zone. There's a video on my channel, you can check that out. It was such strong in character and story that we had to revisit its story again. We are excited for you to explore the world of Dead Waters and the Voodoo Queen and her hellish realm. It's a half-sunken riverboat and the skeleton remains of her victims are closed in, so we're gonna get a lot of like rooms with like jars and voodoo dolls and candles everywhere and some great lighting in this house. This house has probably some of the best lighting I've seen at Horror Nights in a long time as far as the colors and stuff. If it does look like that, it might just be for the promotional use. Hopefully it's not. But some of the pictures of it, it just looks absolutely breathtaking as far as the colors of this. It definitely sets a mood that is voodoo all the way. In the USA Today article about like some of the ground feeling like it's mush and it's mulch or something, that it simulates a muddy bog, so it keeps you off balance and easy to scare. So hopefully that's gonna stay a tactic. Hopefully that doesn't get kind of replaced here and there. It's the Voodoo Queen's house. We're gonna see the Voodoo Queen and some of the characters from the zone, which is surprising to me that we have the Voodoo Queen, but she's not the icon of the event. Little weird that we have this big house that you guys are really doing a lot of promoting for this house. This is your like big, huge icon original house, but the icon still gets gifted. That's just my thoughts on Dead Waters, the voodoo house. It looks great. It looks like it's going to be this year's Body Collectors. So that could go either way. It could just be a really beautiful house, or it could be scary and beautiful. Who knows? We're going to have to find out when we go through it. Look for my hype list video on the zones and the houses coming soon. I'm going to have that. You might be surprised what's on the list and where it is on the list. It might shock some of you. Might. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, leave it down in the comment section. What are your thoughts about the originals? Are you excited for them? Are you not? What is your favorite and what is your least favorite out of the 4 original houses that were announced? Leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, guys, I am out of here. Gonna edit this video and a few more videos for you guys. But anyway, take care, and until next time, Zombie Chris, out.